Hello, so welcome to a day in the life of a garden.
And I'm Jessica Peel-Austin, Curator of Museum Collections.
And we are going to talk about the pond. We're going to discuss the pond, the history of the pond, and what we have planned for the future and what we're doing now. So I hope you enjoy this episode, and if you do, give us a thumbs up, maybe like, maybe subscribe. That helps us out. So sit back and relax. Let's talk about the pond. My name is David Morton. I'm the Landscape Curator here at Brucemore. It's a 26-acre estate located in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and it's one of the few National Trust historic sites in the Midwest. And this show is about how to create this little piece of paradise in your own backyard. A day in the life of a gardener. So we came inside because we were getting blown around, and we had a little bit of flashback from derecho. So we came inside, and we thought maybe you'd hear us better, but we're still going to continue our discussion about the pond. So let's start at the beginning. The pond is one of my favorite features of this estate. So I'm curious, since I'm sure many other people might be curious, as to the history of the pond and when it was installed, etc., etc.
Sure. So the pond was a creation of the Douglas family.
Okay.
We think it was dug somewhere around 1909 when they were trying to really establish the feel of a country estate here when they purchased the estate that they renamed Brucemore. So the Douglas family, as you know, was George Bruce Douglas, his wife Irene. They had three daughters, Margaret, Ellen, and Barbara. George was a businessman, as you probably know, one of the inheritors to the Quaker Oats fortune, as well as starting his own business, Douglas Starch Works, here in Cedar Rapids.
Right.
So they lived on the estate 1906, 1937. Irene Douglas passes away in 1937. Her eldest daughter, Margaret, and her husband, Howard, were the ones who inherited the estate. So they had Margaret's inherited wealth, but then they also had Howard's fortune that he amassed through his businesses, Iowa Manufacturing and Iowa Steel and Iron Works. And they loved the pond as well. So they loved to spend time out there, loved to entertain by the pond, and they just really enjoyed spending time there.
Wouldn't.
I know, right? It's great. So.
Yeah. And part of having a country estate, from my understanding, is that you had recreation on the estate. What kind of recreation did they do in that pond, or did they?
That's a great question, because I think there's a lot of things happening with the pond. Number one being that they are trying to create that country estate feel, and they're working very closely with a particular landscape architect, O.C. Simonds. And the pond is really a hallmark of his landscape design. He loved creating ponds, and particularly the kind of kidney shape of our pond is a hallmark of his style. So you have that going on, but then you also do have this idea of recreation. So the Douglases would often ice skate on the pond during the winter months, and then during the summer months, they wouldn't swim in the pond, but they did have basically like a little kind of floating gazebo that they could launch on the pond, and then you could just sit in it and enjoy, which I just think would be great.
Awesome. Yeah, on a summer day.
Yeah, I know. Just imagine floating on the
Little
pond.
Mai Tai.
Yeah, just really enjoying yourself. So that's kind of how they would traditionally use the pond.
Yeah. So now there was another statue out there, the deer statue.
Right.
And we had that restored too, right?
Yep. So that little statue sits kind of in between the two urns. He was an addition by the Hall family in the 1940s, somewhere around in there. And he didn't really sustain a lot of damage during the derecho, but he just needed some kind of general conservation work. But he was removed from the ground, again, to kind of protect him from the work that was going to be happening following the derecho. So he went off to our conservators and came back, and he's just waiting to go back into the ground when the pond restoration is more complete.
And there's two of those deer, right? I mean, there's another one in the formal garden.
There is.
And those were purchased at the same time?
No, they're actually different.
Oh.
That was something that I learned fairly recently. So they do date from two different time periods. The one that you see in the garden was purchased by Mrs. Douglas when she was on a Mediterranean trip in the 1920s. It is a replica of a deer statue that was found in the ruins of, or kind of the aftermath of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. And it was a replica that she purchased, brought back with her. And then the Halls were the ones who added that deer statue. So if you look really closely at them, you will notice that they're actually not terribly similar. They're pretty different.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you. I think we'll stop here.
Sounds good.
But come back. We've got more information in a part 2. But remember, every garden counts. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, hit the like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel.